Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've been building AI applications or integrating language models into your workflows lately, you've probably noticed something pretty quickly. The costs can spiral out of control fast. So today, we're going to unpack a super high-value playbook from the creator at nocode.income. This document gives you the exact configurations and tricks that pro developers are using right now to ship AI products sustainably, without setting their budgets on fire. Let's get right into it. We kind of need to establish an uncomfortable truth right out of the gate here. Your long chats and those massive PDFs you're dumping in, they are quietly multiplying your bill. AI isn't magic, right? It's a compute engine. Every single word or token you push into the model and every single word it generates in return is tied directly to your credit card. And if you aren't actively managing that relationship, you're just leaving a massive amount of money on the table. But here is the good news. By applying just a few key levers from this cheat sheet, you can literally slash your AI bill by up to 70%. And the best part is you absolutely don't need a PhD in machine learning to pull this off. Honestly, if you implement even just 3 of the strategies we're about to cover, you're going to feel the financial difference this very week.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with how to stop burning cash immediately, then how to pick the right model, kill context bloat, and constrain outputs. After that, we'll hit some advanced API tactics, and finally wrap up with a quick 30-second daily audit.
All right, Section 1, Stop Burning AI Cash.
This cheat sheet by @nocode.income is great because it treats AI development just like traditional software engineering. It outlines 7 specific tricks to essentially plug the leaks in your AI bucket. It's all about shifting your mindset from just, getting the AI to work, to treating your budget with the exact precision a professional developer would demand.
Section 2, Pick the right model.
Okay, so the absolute most common novice mistake is overpaying for reasoning power you simply don't need. Opus 4.7 is a total powerhouse, right? It's amazing for deep reasoning, hard debugging, and complex planning. But you should absolutely not be using Opus for simple emails or short replies. Haiku 4.5 can nail basic Q&A, simple classification, and routing for a tiny fraction of the cost. Using a supercomputer to sort your mail is just a massive waste of resources. The golden rule here is to establish a new baseline for your projects. The novice way is just running Opus for everything to be safe. But the pro way? Always start your development with Haiku. Build your prompt, test it out, and see how it performs. You should really only bump up to Sonnet or Opus when the output quality from that cheaper model actually fails to meet your needs.
Moving to Section 3, Kill Bloat and Cache.
Let's talk about the silent killers of your API budget: context bloat and repetitive prompts. You've got to kill context bloat. The AI remembers your conversation by essentially rereading the entire chat history every single time you send a new message. That means old context gets built on every single turn. To fix this, just start a new chat for every new topic. And please, never dump a 200-page PDF into the context window when you only need 2 pages. Extract what you need first. For agents, summarize those old turns instead of replaying them verbatim. Keep that context window as lean as possible. Which brings us to a seriously powerful feature. If you're sending the same system prompt or the same heavy reference documents on every single API call, you need to turn on caching. Cached reads cost up to 90% less. Let that sink in for a second. 90%. This is the single biggest win for chatbots, agents, and RAG systems. It yields massive, instant savings. For the developers tuning in, implementing this is incredibly straightforward. Pros using the Anthropic SDK just drop in a cache control line and set it to ephemeral. You just attach that to your long system prompts, your dense documentation, your tool definitions, whatever you're reusing. It literally takes seconds to implement and absolutely slashes your token costs for repeated data. All right, Section 4, Constrain your outputs. So we really need to tackle a mathematical reality that catches so many developers off guard when they get their first bill. Output tokens, the actual words the AI generates back to you, typically cost about 5 times more than input tokens. 5 times! This means every extra sentence, every polite greeting, every unnecessary caveat Claude rates is 5 times the waste of an input word. You're basically paying a premium for the AI to be chatty. So how do we stop the cattiness? Force shorter outputs. Use specific drop-in phrases right in your system prompts. Tell the model, be concise, no preamble, no caveats. Or give it super strict formatting constraints, like answer in 3 bullets, max 15 words each, or output only valid JSON, no prose. And beyond just asking nicely,
you should be setting a sane cap on your max tokens at the API level. Something like 512 is usually plenty for most standard chat replies.
Let's level up. Section 5, Advanced API Tactics.
Now we're getting into some levers that require a bit more architectural thought, but they give you huge multipliers for your budget. First up, do you actually need speed? The standard API gives you instant answers at full price. But if a job doesn't need to be instant, you should absolutely be using the batch API. The batch API runs your requests within 24 hours and instantly slashes those specific costs by 50%. This is literally perfect for nightly summarizations, bulk classification of CSVs, or just regenerating marketing copy in the background.
Next, let's talk about the extended thinking feature. Extended thinking is incredible. It allows the model to reason before it answers, but it burns extra reasoning tokens before it even starts generating your actual output, so it's expensive. You should really only have it on for hard math, tricky debugging, or complex multi-step planning. Explicitly turn it off for basic writing, simple code, summarizations, or extraction tasks.
Here is a brilliant architectural move: streaming with early stopping. By streaming your API responses, you can read the tokens as they arrive in real time. If you add a cheap programmatic validator on the very first sentence, you can instantly detect if the answer is going sideways. And if it is, abort the request. You only pay for what was generated. This fail-fast approach saves you from paying for a massive 2,000 token hallucination that you were just going to throw away anyway.
And a few bonus pro moves for you. Try stripping whitespace and markdown from your documents before sending them. A cleaned document magically reduces your token count by 20 to 40% before you even hit send. Also, use native tool calls instead of prompting the model to format as JSON. It's way cheaper and more reliable. And fundamentally, you've got to log your token usage per feature and set per-user token quotas in your app.
Finally, Section 6, your 30-second vibe.
We need to build a daily habit to make sure you're scaling sustainably. This is your 30-second audit. Run through it every day or right before every major deployment. Ask yourself, am I using the cheapest model that still works? Is my system prompt cached? Did I cap max tokens? Did I explicitly ask for a concise output? If you can confidently check those boxes, your app is running lean. By the way, all of this incredibly practical insight comes directly from the cheat sheet provided by at nocode.income. If you found these levers valuable for taming your costs, they offer weekly AI and automation breakdowns. Definitely check them out to keep optimizing your builds. Which leaves us with one final thought. As the source material reminds us, you can't cut what you can't see. One rogue user or one bad loop in your code can blow an entire month's budget in a single hour if you weren't paying attention. So the absolute most important question you need to ask your engineering team today is, are you logging your tokens yet? Start tracking, start optimizing, and take control of your AI infrastructure.